You are playing a game called life, but perhaps you have never held the instruction manual. You wake up every morning, rush out, dedicate your time, effort, and intellect to earn money, only to find yourself still short of money, still having to work, still unable to stop, still caught in the spiral of work, spending, paying debts, and then working again. Have you ever asked yourself, what game am I playing? And what are the actual rules of that game? The world operates according to financial rules that only a few understand. They don't work harder than you, they just play the right game. They don't exert themselves as much as you, they just choose the right position on the board. And they are not strangled by monthly salaries or bills to pay because they stepped out of that cycle long ago. This is not a video teaching how to get rich quickly. This is a map to help you understand where you are in the financial world, to help you realize whether you are being led by someone else's rules or if you have set your own rules. Today, I will share with you a concept that can completely change your financial mindset: the combination of the cash flow quadrant and the income pyramid. These two concepts, if understood correctly and applied intelligently, will give you a comprehensive view not only of earning money, but also of how to escape financial dependence and achieve true freedom. And you won't just hear theory, you will see the practical journey of people who were once employees, once salaried workers, until they transform themselves to build investment systems and own automated cash flow. Are you ready? If you feel this video can help you, please press like so the algorithm can bring it to more people. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't hesitate. The Dao Lop Nip channel will be where you can find the mindset, strategies, and inspiration to build your own financial path. Now, let's start with the first foundation, the cash flow quadrant, a model that helps you realize where you are in the world of money. The cash flow quadrant is one of the greatest discoveries by Robert Kiyosaki, author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He divides the financial world into 4 groups of people: E, S, B, I. E is employee, salaried workers. S is self-employed individuals, owning their own business. B is business owners, people who create systems that operate without needing them. And I is investors, people who use money to generate more money. It sounds simple at first, but you'll find something interesting here. Each group differs not only in how they earn money, but also in their mindset, risk, freedom, scalability, and level of dependence on time. People in the E group often seek stability. They work for a fixed salary and feel secure because they have a contract, insurance, and an organization behind them. But precisely because of this, they are also easily dependent. A change in the company can cause them to lose their sole source of income. People in the S group are a bit more free. They are doctors who open their own clinics, photographers who work independently, freelance designers, or sole online sellers. They are in control of their time, but they are also solely responsible for everything. When they take a break, their income stops. Starting from the B group, everything changes. People in the B group don't work to earn money. They build systems. They have teams, processes, and operating models that don't require their constant presence. Whether they go on vacation or not, money still comes in. And finally, there's the I group, investors. This is the group where money works for them. They invest in businesses, real estate, stocks, and digital assets to create passive income. Now ask yourself, which group are you in? Are you on the left or right side of the cash flow quadrant? The left side, E and S, is where most people start. But if you want financial freedom, you need to gradually shift to the right side, to B and I. Why? Because the right side is where you create cash flow without having to trade hour for hour work. But this is only half of the map. The other half is the income pyramid. When combining these two concepts, you will have an extremely powerful matrix where you know both where you are and which level you need to ascend to escape the invisible money trap. Next, I will share about the income pyramid, a simple but extremely important concept. It helps you clearly distinguish between people who earn money by sweat and those who build assets to make money while they sleep. There are 4 levels in the income pyramid, each representing a level of earning money from lowest to highest, from most dependent to most free. The first level is effort-based income. This is the level where you sell your time, effort, and basic skills for money. You work 8 hours, you get paid. You drive Grab, you get money. You share a post, you work for hire, you have income when you are present. If you take a break, you don't have money. This is the most common and also the most tiring level. The second level is skill-based income. At this point, you don't just exchange effort, you exchange your expertise. You are a good programmer, a professional designer, a famous MC. Your income increases with your ability, but it is still active income. If you take a break, the money still stops. The difference is that you earn more than level 1, but you still have to be present. The third level is system-based income. This is where you start building something that operates without you. You have a sales team, an affiliate system, an online store operating automatically. You work smarter instead of working harder. The fourth level is asset-based income. This is the ultimate goal. You invest in things that generate cash flow. Rental properties, dividend stocks, YouTube channels with automated ads, digital courses, digital products. You build assets, and then your assets pay you every month. The higher you go, the closer you get to freedom, but the fewer people are present at higher levels. This is because moving from level 1 to level 4 requires one thing: awareness. Most people only hover around levels 1 and 2. They work hard all their lives, thinking that's enough. But when they retire, they realize they have accumulated nothing because they never built anything that existed beyond themselves. The question is, why did no one teach you this in school? Because schools are designed for you to do well at level 1, to be a good employee who gets high grades and does things correctly without mistakes.
But schools don't teach you to build assets. They don't teach you to create systems. They don't teach you to invest. That's why you need to relearn. Learn to play the financial game correctly. Now, let's try combining the 2 concepts, the cash flow quadrant and the income pyramid. We will have a 4x4 matrix. On one side are the 4 groups E, S, B, I, and on the other side are the 4 levels from effort-based to asset-based. Try to imagine, if you are an E, an employee, and you are only at level 1 trading effort for salary, then you are in the lowest cell with high risk, low freedom, and maximum dependence. But if you are an E and you have a personal YouTube channel, invest in assets and have cash flow from digital products, then you are an E at level 4. Similarly, if you are an S, self-employed, but you only trade time for money, you are also stuck at level 1 or 2. But if you know how to convert personal services into an agency model by hiring people to do the work or building digital products, you begin to shift to level 3 or 4. You see it now, right? It doesn't matter where you start. What matters is which level you are at, and if you have a plan to move levels. Your goal is not to jump from E level 1 to I level 4 in one go. The goal is to move one level each year, learn a new skill each phase, and lay one brick for your system every day. The journey from being an employee to being a business owner and then an investor is not an overnight matter. But if you don't start, you will forever be stuck in that first cell in the matrix. And now I want you to pause for a few seconds to draw your own matrix. Which group are you in the cash flow quadrant? Which level are you in the income pyramid? And where do you want to move to? Financial freedom is not a dream. It is a strategy. And this matrix is the map. Next, I will tell you real stories, how ordinary people like you have progressed through the levels. There's no magic, only strategic action and determination. The first person I want to tell you about is Nam, who used to be a customer service representative at an insurance company. Nam's monthly salary was around 9 million VND. The work was steady and stable, but there was no development. Every day, Nam started at 8 a.m. and left the office at 6 p.m., sometimes even later. Nam always felt suffocated in a repetitive cycle. He started asking, "What if I take a day off today?" The answer was no. If I quit entirely, will my income still be there? The answer was also no. Nam realized he was an E at level 1, an employee trading effort for money, with no system, no assets. From then on, Nam began to learn about passive income. He didn't quit his job immediately. Nam started spending his evenings learning video editing, a skill he always loved. After 3 months, Nam took on small freelance jobs, editing promotional videos for online shops. After 6 months, Nam quit his job and switched to full-time freelancing. At that time, Nam was an S at level 2. He earned more money and had more control over his time, but it was still trading time for money. The turning point came when Nam built a blog sharing about video making. He started recording courses and selling them through a platform. After 1 year, he had over 3,000 students, his own community, and regular monthly income from the courses even when he wasn't working. Nam is now at level 3, system-based income. He recruited more associates and expanded into a team specializing in teaching video to small businesses.
Cash flow began to stabilize, and then the 3rd year, Nam started investing. He bought a small real estate property, a studio apartment for rent, partly from his passive course income and partly from savings. Now, Nam is a B/I at levels 3, 4. Nam is not a genius. He just took step by step from E level 1 to S level 2 to B level 3 to I level 4, a planned 3-year journey. The second person is Ling, a stay-at-home mom. When she had her baby, Ling quit her banking job to stay home and care for her child. She felt very lost, had no income, was dependent on her husband, and felt useless. But Ling didn't accept that. She started selling baby products online, items she used for her own child. Because she was a genuine user, she built trust. After just a few months, Ling had a steady customer base. She switched to live streaming and sales soared. But she was also tired of doing everything herself. She learned how to recruit collaborators, guide them in selling, and share scripts, images, and content until she had 20 people on her team. She only needed to manage and didn't have to sell directly. At this point, Ling was an S at level 3. And then she transitioned to creating her own brand, products for mothers and babies, manufactured by a factory. She focused on marketing. Currently, Ling has her own brand, a team of 50 people, monthly sales of several hundred million, and has invested in apartments and gold. She has freedom, autonomy, a system, and assets. The third story is about Duang, a student who used to drive Grab, studying technology but without passion. Duang loved making videos and funny TikToks. One day, he tried posting a video sharing about his Grab driver life, and unexpectedly, it went viral. From then on, Duang regularly created content about young people. His channel grew quickly, reaching 200,000 followers after 6 months. Duang started taking advertising bookings, affiliate products, and created a TikTok content creation course. His channel had regular income from ads, affiliate marketing, and course sales. From being a driver, Duang now has 2 TikTok channels, 1 YouTube channel, 3 digital courses, and an online student support group. Duang is now an I at level 4, 100%. The commonality among all 3 of them is that they didn't start with money. They started with, how can I not have to work forever and still have money? They built level by level. They didn't jump, they climbed. And you can do it too. You just need to start from where you are and know what the next level is. Next, I will share 5 common mistakes young people make that keep them stuck at lower levels even if they have ability. These mistakes seem small, but have consequences that last for 10 years. You don't want to fall into those traps. Mistake number 1, chasing short-term income, neglecting long-term systems. Many young people get caught in the cycle of doing jobs, getting paid, spending it all, and then looking for the next job. They choose work because it pays well immediately, without thinking if that work helps them build assets, skills, systems, or something that can be replicated. They refuse to do something long-term because it doesn't offer immediate money.
But this very impulsiveness keeps them stuck at levels 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the rich choose to do things that initially pay little, but later generate recurring income. Mistake number 2, not learning about finance, not understanding cash flow. Many people earn money, but don't know what to do with it besides spending.
They are unaware of concepts like cash flow, assets, and financial leverage. Therefore, even if their income increases, they remain poor because everything they own is a liability. Nice cars, new phones, fancy clothes, but nothing generates money when they stop working. The rich, conversely, buy assets first, then let the assets pay for what they want. Mistake number 3. Grass is always greener on the other side, not persisting with the system they are building. They start something, find it difficult, give up when they see others live streaming, making a lot of money, and switch to selling. They see others doing TikTok, getting bookings, and start making clips. They see others investing in crypto and jump in. The result is that they do a little of everything, but nothing becomes a system. Nothing brings sustainable cash flow. System builders understand that all results take time. Even a fruit tree needs to be planted, watered, and cared for before it bears fruit. Mistake number 4. Thinking freedom means doing nothing. Many young people dream of financial freedom because they want to avoid working. But they forget that the freest people are those who work out of passion, not out of obligation. Freedom is not about sitting idle, but about choosing what to do, with whom, where, and when. The rich work continuously, but they work on assets, on systems. They work with a proactive mindset, not being forced by anyone. Mistake number 5. Not investing in themselves, thinking learning is a loss. Do you know the biggest mistake the poor make? They want everything for free. They try every way to learn, from random videos, old materials, and quick tips, but don't invest in systematic courses, mentors, or communities. The rich, on the contrary, always have a budget for learning, self-development, skills, and relationships. This is because they understand that any asset can be lost except the assets in your head. And when you have the right knowledge, you can rebuild anytime. Have you realized if you've ever made any of these mistakes? Don't worry, everyone has. The important thing is that you start to fix it today. And in the next section, I will show you how to do that. I will guide you on a roadmap to move from S to B, from level 2 to level 3, and then from level 3 to level 4, step by step, clearly and feasibly. You don't need to quit your current job. You just need to start a parallel asset. You don't need to be a genius. You just need to be persistent. You don't need large capital. You need the right mindset. Next, let's start with step 1. Build a system from what you are good at, passionate about, and are already doing. From a freelancer building a team to becoming an agency with a system. From a small seller creating content to building a community and replicating. From an individual creating digital products, packaging knowledge to create an income stream. I will guide you step by step, and you will see that the financial matrix is something you can establish if you dare to start. The first step is to identify your personal strengths to build a foundation of your system. You must start from your true self. No one builds a system on borrowed foundations or by imitation. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What have people praised me for? What problem can I solve for others? What knowledge do I have that others need? Some people are good at speaking. Start by sharing content. Some people are good at writing. Create a blog. Some people are skillful. Sell handmade products. Some people love technology. Start with digital products. Don't worry about what the market is hot for. Start at the intersection of what you are good at, what you love, and what others need. After identifying that, the next step is to package it. Step 2. Transform skills, information, and strengths into reproducible products or services. If you are a good hairdresser, don't just cut hair for one person once. Record a video teaching how to cut hair. Create an online course. Write an ebook guide. If you are good at design, don't just take jobs. Create template designs to sell on international platforms. If you know how to teach children, create a sharing channel, then develop a course or ebook for new parents. Your job is not to do the same thing over and over, but to replicate knowledge into products that others can use without your direct presence. Once the product is ready, the next step is to build distribution channels. Step 3. Build a community and create content channels to drive information flow. In this era, you don't need to rent physical space. You need to build your TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Zalo audience. Choose the platform that suits you best. Share what you know, what you experience, what you believe is valuable. People who listen to you, who follow your journey, will gradually become customers, associates, or referrers. They trust you, they buy from you, they learn from you. And more importantly, they help you build digital assets. Step 4. Establish an operating system so you don't have to do everything yourself. You need to start recruiting people, whether part-time collaborators or AI. Automate what you can. Chat responses, email marketing, payment systems, learning platforms. Your job is to build a system so that every step of the customer's journey is clear, without needing your direct guidance. When you sleep, the system still operates. When you go out, orders still come in. Step 5. Use income from the system to invest in real assets. This is when you move up to level 4, investing in assets. Divide your cash flow, a portion for reinvesting in the system, a portion for emergency savings, and the rest for investing in income-generating assets. These include real estate, stocks, dividends, corporate bonds, digital products, videos with ads, content ownership. You are gradually shifting from working to earn money to working to build assets, so that assets earn money for you. And here's the most interesting part. The further you go, the less you have to work, but your income increases. That's the power of leverage. The poor use their effort. The rich use systems, technology, other people, and money. You don't need to choose all of them, but you need to choose one starting point and begin. To be continued. Do you want the next part? I will share how young people apply each BNI model in reality with concrete, easy to understand, and feasible examples. If you are ready, message continue. Now we come to the practical part. How young people apply the Cashflow Quadrant and the Income Pyramid in real life with specific models. Let's take an example from the B model, business owner. Don't think a business needs a large office and many employees. Someone creating content on TikTok with collaborators, supporting comments, answering messages, and delivering orders is also a small business. Tuan, a second-year student, made TikTok videos sharing how to learn English. After 4 months, his channel had 100,000 followers. Tuan started selling an ebook for 99,000 VND titled 10 Days to Perfect Pronunciation Like a Western.
Initially, Tuan did everything himself, shooting clips, replying to inboxes, sending payment links. But after just 1 month, he felt overwhelmed. Tuan hired someone to help with customer care, used a chatbot, and created automated sales landing pages. From then on, Tuan had a small system: 1 product line, 1 content channel, 1 associate, and an automated payment channel. Tuan moved from S level 2 to B level 3. And from there, Tuan continued to build other digital products, a basic English course, an online learning club, and one-on-one consulting packages. When his income was steady enough, Tuan used 30% each month to buy investment fund certificates to save for real estate investment when he had enough capital. Tuan is 21 years old, but his financial mindset is much clearer than many 31-year-olds. The second example is the I model, investor. Ngok, a girl who used to work as a marketing employee in Hanoi. After 3 years of working, she realized she couldn't rely solely on her salary. She learned about real estate, visiting projects in the Hanoi suburbs every weekend. Ngok started with a 600 million VND apartment, paying in installments. She rented it out for 3.5 million VND per month, and the rent covered part of the principal and interest. After 2 years, the apartment's value increased, and Ngok sold it for a profit of over 200 million VND. She used that profit to buy a small plot of land in Hualak, then built a 5-room dormitory for students to rent. Now the income from the dormitory helps her not feel pressured to work just for money. Ngok still goes to work, but with a different mindset, choosing a place that fits her and work that aligns with her passion. She is an I at level 4, investing in real assets, and her journey started from working for hire, then diligently learning, and then acting step by step. There are many other models you can learn and apply. Affiliate marketing, selling other people's products for commission. If you choose the right products and build a customer base, you can have completely passive income. Content creation. When your videos get steady views, you can enable monetization, receive booking ads, affiliate income, or sell digital products. Selling digital products, ebooks, courses, design templates, Excel templates. You create it once and sell it many times. No inventory costs. Building a personal brand to be able to do anything later on. Coaching, consulting, launching products, or transitioning to investing. The important thing is that you must choose a path and see it through. No one gets rich by trying everything once. The rich get rich because they do one thing deeply and long enough. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start with what you know. Next, I will share the stages of mindset transformation by age, because not everyone has the same starting point. Some are 18, some are 30, some are single, some have families, but everyone can start. Are you ready? Let's continue. At age 18 to 22, you are a student or recent graduate. This is the stage where you have time, fewer commitments, and most importantly, you are not under too much financial pressure. This is the best time to learn skills, experiment in various fields, and start building your personal brand. Don't worry about not having money yet. Use your time to exchange for knowledge. Learn how to write content, shoot videos, create landing pages, do online affiliate marketing. You can study while working, take small jobs, or work unpaid for experts to learn. Build a TikTok, Facebook, YouTube channel, sharing your learning journey, skills, and experiences. What you need most at this time is a foundation of digital skills and a network. Age 23 to 27. You start working and have income, but this is also when you can easily fall into the trap of stability. Your salary is enough to live, enough to spend, even enough to buy a phone or travel. But if you only stop at stability, you are stuck at level 2. Use this period to accumulate professional skills, your first digital assets, content channels, courses, ebooks, design files, quality relationships, and small capital to start investing. Save at least 30% of your income to reinvest in yourself. Learn more, create products, promote them, or start a small business. This is the stage where you need time leverage, doing a lot of work initially to be more comfortable later. Age 28 to 35. You may have started a family, had children, and have responsibilities. This is when you can't be reckless, but you need freedom even more. Because if you still live dependent on your current job, you can easily get stressed, burnt out, or lose options. During this stage, focus on building systems. If you were a freelancer, recruit people and become an owner. If you were selling, create a brand and systematize. If you had small investments, research long-term, safe investment channels and asset accumulation. This is when you need to optimize time, systematize work, and allocate assets. Age 36 to 45. This is the harvesting stage. If you've been on the right track, you will have assets, cash flow, rental properties, dividend stocks, self-operating systems, and a strong community. If you have nothing yet, it's not too late, but you need to move quickly and have a guide to avoid trial and error. You need a clear budget for investment, learning, health, and early retirement. At this stage, every decision should be based on cash flow and risk level. And if you are over 45, you still have at least 20 years of active working and a lifetime of passive income if you start today. No one is too late, it's just a matter of how much time you have to learn and act. The great thing is that the Cashflow Quadrant and Income Pyramid do not discriminate by age. They only differentiate by mindset and action. You can start your financial freedom journey at any age as long as you are willing to change your way of thinking and doing. Next, we will go to the final part, summarizing the mindset of financially free people. and the message for you, who are at the beginning of this journey. Ready? Let's continue. Financially free people are not necessarily those who earn the most, but those who have the most control. They control their time, finances, work, and emotions. They don't always have more money than others, but they know how to use money to buy back time. They don't work more, but they work smarter. They don't try to own everything, they choose to own things that create long-term value. First mindset, they always build systems. Whatever they do, they always ask, how can I systematize this? How can others operate it for me? How can it run even when I'm not present? They understand that systems will liberate them, and those without systems will forever be chained in the work cycle. Second mindset, they use money to buy assets, not to show off. They don't race cars, but they invest in real estate. They don't show off handbags, but they have shares in companies. They don't need many things, but everything they own generates money.
Third mindset, they learn continuously. The world changes fast. Only those who learn continuously maintain an advantage. They read books, attend seminars, learn online, learn from mentors, learn from mistakes. Each year, they are a better version of themselves than the previous year. Fourth mindset, they share value. They don't just work for money, they work to create a positive impact. They help others, share knowledge, build communities. It is this sharing that makes them trusted, and from that, they gain more opportunities, income, and partners. And the final, most important mindset, they know financial freedom is not a destination, but a way of life. Every day, they choose to live intentionally, choosing what they do, who they are with, where and how they earn money. You can start living this way today by stopping working just to survive. Start building something replicable. Start creating products, building channels, creating systems. Start investing, even if small, to get used to using money to work. And most importantly, build a community. A community will help you go further, faster, and more sustainably. Your journey may not be easy, but it's worth it because at the end of that path is freedom of money, time, and meaning in life. If you find this video valuable, leave a comment below saying I will start, so I know you've listened to the very end. And don't forget to like the video if you find it helpful. Subscribe to the Dao Lopniab channel so you don't miss practical content about earning money, financial mindset, and the journey to freedom. Share this video with a friend who needs it. Sometimes the right video at the right time can change the direction of their entire life. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video. You know, many people have watched videos like this and just stopped at thinking it was good. But the people who change their lives are not those who just think it's good, but those who take action. You don't need to wait until you have money to start. You just need to start and money will come. You don't need to wait for anyone's permission. You just need to give yourself permission to be different. You don't need to wait for time to be available. You just need to cut out 1 hour of TikTok scrolling to read a book, learn a skill, create value. Don't believe anyone who says it's too late. In fact, every day you wake up and are still breathing, you still have a chance to start over. If you're poor today, it doesn't mean you will be poor forever. If you're an employee today, it doesn't mean you can't be an owner. If you're alone today, it doesn't mean you can't have a team or a community. Everyone successful out there once had a starting day just like you. The difference is they took one step. So the question isn't whether I can do it, but when will I start? If you need it, I can write an appendix of the first 10 steps to transition from S to B, suggested free tools to build a personal system, and a checklist to build a financial freedom matrix from scratch. It looks simple, but behind it is a fundamental change in mindset for living and earning money. People in the E group, employee, live on salary. People in the S group, self-employed, live on their own effort. People in the B group, business owner, live on operating systems. People in the I group, investor, live on assets and cash flow. Do you notice? From E to I, the level of freedom increases, but the level of responsibility and knowledge must also increase. People at level E only need to be good at their specialized work. People at level S need to be good at both specialized work and managing customers, cash flow, and maintenance. People at level B must know how to systematize, recruit, train, control, and operate. And people at level I need to clearly understand the market, assets, risks, and capital allocation strategies. You cannot skip steps, but you can shift gradually. The interesting thing is that many people think they are at level S or B, but are actually just stuck between levels E and S. A freelancer thinks they are free, but in reality they are trading hours for money, just like an employee. Someone who opens a small shop and does everything from A to Z thinks they are an owner, but in reality they are a multitasking employee over-exploiting themselves. So, what are the signs to recognize that you have truly moved to level B? It's very simple. You can leave your work for a few days or weeks, and the system still operates. You have staff, or at least an automated sales system, content that generates its own traffic, products that sell themselves without you needing to live stream or message each person individually. You can spend 50 to 70% of your time developing the system instead of being tied to daily work. As for being an investor, it's reflected in your money working 24/7, even when you sleep. You have regular cash flow from real estate, stocks, digital assets, content channels, digital products. You care more about compound interest, capital preservation, and risk allocation than about quick windfalls. It sounds complex, but in reality, everything starts with a single question. What can I do today so that tomorrow I don't have to trade time to live? That could be a first video sharing knowledge, a first landing page for a digital product, a first lead magnet form from potential customers, a habit of learning finance for 15 minutes a day, a brave investment of 500,000 VNMD, and advertising a course or an idea. When you do small things every day, you are knocking on the door of level B and level I. Not everyone who knocks gets the door opened immediately, but for those who don't knock, the door will never open. Just like building a real pyramid, you cannot start from the top. You must lay each brick from the foundation. And the foundation of financial freedom is not money. It is mindset. It is habit. It is perseverance with a system until it stands on its own. By now, you can see that financial freedom is not a distant dream. It is a matrix, and you are holding the map. The question is, will you look at that map every day and regret, or will you start stepping into the maze and deciphering it step by step? Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Making mistakes is better than standing still. Don't wait for the right moment. The best moment is when you stop procrastinating. Don't wait for someone to save you. No one can save you but yourself today. You've listened to me this far. I believe you are not an ordinary person. Ordinary people would have scrolled past after the 3rd minute, but you are still reading, still listening, still thinking. And I believe you are also ready to act. Start with the smallest thing. Write down your 30-day goal. Choose a channel and upload your first video. Plan to create your first digital product. Schedule a meeting with your first mentor. Join a community with like-minded people. Every small action is a brick in your own freedom matrix. And one day you will look back and smile, I dared to start.